Japan, with limited natural resources, turned to nuclear power after the 1970s oil crisis. They sought energy independence to fuel their booming economy. Nuclear power promised clean and efficient energy. Fukushima Daiichi became a symbol of Japan's technological prowess. It powered homes, businesses, and industries. Few predicted the lurking disaster that exposed nuclear vulnerabilities. On March 11, 2011, a magnitude 9.0 earthquake, one of the most powerful ever recorded, struck off the coast of Japan. The tremors violently shook the Fukushima Daiichi plant, triggering an automatic shutdown of the active reactors. This initial response seemed to hold promise, suggesting that the plant's safety mechanisms were working as intended. However, the disaster was far from over. The earthquake had triggered a massive tsunami, a towering wall of water that surged towards the coastline. The tsunami easily overwhelmed the plant's seawall, designed to withstand much smaller waves. The relentless water flooded the plant's critical infrastructure, including the emergency generators, the last line of defense. These generators were crucial for circulating cooling water to the reactors, preventing them from overheating. With the generators submerged and rendered useless, the reactors began to overheat, a chain reaction that would have catastrophic consequences. The overheating reactors at Fukushima Daiichi led to a series of hydrogen explosions, blowing apart the reactor buildings and releasing radioactive material into the atmosphere. This invisible threat spread with the wind, contaminating the surrounding areas and forcing the evacuation of tens of thousands of residents. The release of radiation was a stark reminder of the invisible but very real danger posed by nuclear accidents. The contaminated water used to cool the reactors also leaked into the Pacific Ocean, raising concerns about the potential impact on marine life and the global food chain. The extent of the contamination and its long-term effects were difficult to assess, adding to the fear and uncertainty surrounding the disaster. The world watched in horror as the crisis unfolded. The images of the damaged plant a stark reminder of the potential devastation that nuclear accidents could unleash. The invisible threat of radiation cast a long shadow over the lives of those living near Fukushima. The evacuation orders displaced entire communities, forcing people to abandon their homes and livelihoods. The psychological toll of the disaster was immense, with many experiencing anxiety, depression, and post-traumatic stress disorder. The fear of radiation exposure and its potential long-term health effects added another layer of complexity to the already challenging situation. The health impacts of the disaster continue to be studied, with concerns about increased cancer rates, particularly among children. The long latency period of radiation-related illnesses makes it difficult to establish a direct link to the disaster, but the potential risks remain a source of anxiety for many. The Fukushima disaster highlighted the profound and long-lasting human cost of nuclear accidents, extending far beyond the initial event. Section 5. A Herculean task cleaning up after a nuclear nightmare. The task of cleaning up the Fukushima Daiichi plant is a monumental undertaking, one that is expected to take decades and cost billions of dollars. The highly radioactive environment poses significant challenges for workers, who must operate remotely controlled robots to perform many of the cleanup operations. The decommissioning of the damaged reactors is a complex and dangerous process, requiring innovative solutions and meticulous planning. The storage of contaminated water and debris is another major challenge. The Japanese government is exploring various options, including building underground storage facilities and treating the water to remove radioactive materials. However, finding a long-term solution that is both safe and environmentally sound remains a major concern. The cleanup of Fukushima is a stark reminder of the enduring legacy of nuclear accidents and the challenges of managing their aftermath. Section 6. The world takes notice. Fukushima's ripple effect on global nuclear ambitions. The Fukushima disaster sent shockwaves through the global nuclear industry, prompting many countries to re-evaluate their nuclear energy policies. Germany, for example, decided to phase out nuclear power entirely, while other countries like Switzerland and Italy put new reactor construction on hold. The disaster raised questions about the safety and reliability of nuclear power, particularly in seismically active regions. The International Atomic Energy Agency conducted a comprehensive review of global nuclear safety standards in the wake of the disaster. The IAEA issued a series of recommendations aimed at strengthening safety regulations, improving emergency preparedness, and enhancing international cooperation in the event of future accidents. Fukushima served as a wake-up call, prompting a global reassessment of the risks and benefits of nuclear power. Section 7. Could we have done more? The blame game and the quest for accountability. In the aftermath of the disaster, questions arose about whether more could have been done to prevent the accident or mitigate its impact. The Japanese government, the plant operator TEPCO, and the regulatory agencies faced criticism for their handling of the crisis. Some argued that the plant's safety measures were inadequate, while others pointed to communication failures and a lack of transparency in the early days of the disaster. The Fukushima disaster highlighted the importance of independent regulatory oversight, robust safety protocols, and effective emergency response plans. It also underscored the need for clear communication with the public during nuclear emergencies. The lessons learned from Fukushima have implications not only for the nuclear industry, but also for other sectors where the potential for large-scale disasters exists. Section 8. Lessons etched in radiation. Rethinking safety protocols in a post-Fukushima world. The Fukushima disaster served as a stark reminder of the potential consequences of nuclear accidents. It highlighted the importance of robust safety protocols, rigorous regulatory oversight, and effective emergency response plans. The disaster also underscored the need for transparency and communication with the public during nuclear emergencies. The lessons learned from Fukushima have had a profound impact on the global nuclear industry. One of the key lessons learned from Fukushima is the importance of designing nuclear power plants to withstand a wider range of natural disasters. This includes considering the potential for tsunamis, earthquakes, and extreme weather events. The disaster also highlighted the need for backup power systems and safety features that can function even in the event of a station blackout. Section 9. The uncertain future, the long road to decommissioning, and the lingering threat. The decommissioning of the Fukushima Daiichi plant is a complex and challenging process that is expected to take decades to complete. The removal of melted nuclear fuel from the damaged reactors is a particularly dangerous and technically demanding task. The long-term storage of radioactive waste generated during the decommissioning process is another major challenge. The Fukushima disaster continues to have a significant impact on the surrounding communities. Many residents remain displaced from their homes, and the economic recovery of the region has been slow. The psychological effects of the disaster are still felt by many, and the stigma associated with radiation exposure persists. The long road to recovery from Fukushima is a testament to the enduring legacy of nuclear accidents. Section 10. A community scarred, a nation transformed, the enduring legacy of Fukushima. The Fukushima disaster had a profound impact on Japanese society. The disaster shook the nation's confidence in nuclear power, leading to a significant decline in public support for this energy source. The government's handling of the crisis also drew criticism, with many questioning the transparency and effectiveness of the response. The disaster also had a significant economic impact, leading to increased energy costs and a decline in tourism to the affected region. The Fukushima disaster highlighted the importance of community resilience, disaster preparedness, and the need for a long-term approach to recovery. Section 11. Beyond Fukushima nuclear power at a crossroads. The Fukushima disaster occurred at a time when the global nuclear industry was experiencing a resurgence. Concerns about climate change and energy security had led many countries to reconsider nuclear power as a low-carbon energy source. However, the disaster served as a stark reminder of the potential risks associated with nuclear power. The future of nuclear power remains uncertain. While some countries such as China and India continue to invest in new nuclear power plants, others are phasing out their existing reactors. The development of new nuclear technologies, such as small modular reactors, may address some of the safety concerns associated with traditional nuclear power plants. However, public acceptance and the economics of nuclear power remain significant challenges.